Coming up on Mountain News this morning, multiple buildings in Floyd County were damaged after Monday's night's storm. And with 15-year-olds now able to hit the roads for practice, it's important to recognize what parents can do to create safe drivers.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee, here with you on this April 1st, and the time is now 5 o'clock, which means it's time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall this morning. And Megan, I cannot believe we finally made it to April. I feel like it's actually starting to turn into spring now.
Yeah, we're on our way. We're starting to warm up, but today is one of those cold starts to the day. Unfortunately, that's not an April Fool's joke. You're heading out the door with much colder temperatures. Here's a look at that temperature difference. Seeing 26 degrees colder right now in Pikeville than this time yesterday. A lot of the area are in that teens range. And here's a look at the actual temperatures, mainly sitting in the low 40s and upper 30s, 37 in Hazard and Pikeville, 34 in Wise, and a lot of 40s throughout the rest of the region. We'll be seeing those temperatures warm up this afternoon into the 60s, but here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar. Nice and clear, maybe a sprinkle or two as you're traveling closer towards Virginia. Also seeing a little bit of fog as you're traveling more towards the northeast. Just be a little cautious if you're running into any patches of fog. Next 12 hours, though, we'll see those temperatures warm up to the 60s. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. Well, as folks in Floyd and Pike counties continue to recover from the February flood, some are once again rebuilding. As Maggie Rickerby explains, high winds blew through Floyd County's Board of Education office, causing significant damage.
3:30 this morning, I was laying in bed. It sounded like a train was going over our head.
The National Weather Service office in Jackson hasn't confirmed if the damage in Floyd County is from a tornado or straight-line winds. Judge Executive Robbie Williams tells us around the county he's mostly seen fallen fences and roof damages from downed trees. But at the Board of Education building, Ted George with Floyd County Schools tells us the gymnasium roof was ripped off.
There's kids in here all the time, but fortunately, nobody was in here. Nobody was injured.
And as Floyd County continues to rebuild from flooding, FEMA's Disaster Recovery Center had its doors blown off early Monday morning with high winds coming through the area. FEMA spokesperson Daniel Bernardi tells us no one was inside or hurt. Without the indoor center, he says flood victims can still find relief.
There actually has been no interruption to services because we do have a mobile DRC that's already operational.
It's located right in front of the Floyd County Board of Education office. Repair crews are already working together to repair the damages.
We got resilient folks here in Floyd County. They can bounce back from anything. They've been through so much.
Rebuilding once again in Floyd County. Maggie Rickerby, WKYT.
FEMA's Mobile Recovery Center will be open Monday through Saturday from 7 until 7, and then Sundays from 1 until 7. Yesterday's early morning storms also hit parts of Pike County. Structural damage was reported near Coal Run, including the Helping Hands building off US 23 and residential damage on Redbird Lane. Trees and debris were also scattered along the Big Sandy River. Emergency Management Director Nee Jackson says the damage comes as the county is still working to recover from the deadly flooding.
The pile of clothing debris is from the flooding. They were just getting cleaned up from the flooding event. But everything else is a result of the winds that came through. We're still waiting on the National Weather Service. They're coming this afternoon to do an assessment to try to figure out if it's actually a tornado, a microburst, or straight line winds that may have caused the damage.
No injuries were reported from this round of severe weather. Officials are continuing damage assessments and urging residents to sign up for weather alerts to always be prepared for severe weather. Severe storms affected other parts of the state as well. You can see a video on your screen of hail, heavy rain, and lightning in Fancy Farm. Tornadoes were confirmed in Bullitt and Spencer counties and in Louisville's Fairdale neighborhood. No reports of deaths anywhere in the state. Well, it's always important to stay alert and prepared for possible severe weather. Meteorologists with the National Weather Service in Jackson do what they can to make sure folks are informed and safe before and after severe weather hits. But after, they somewhat rely on reports from the public about where that damage is.
The work doesn't stop once the storms are gone. We're often trying to verify the warnings that we issue, and that comes through social media, calling emergency managers, dispatch centers, making Facebook posts.
The Weather Service conducted a storm survey team in Pike and Floyd counties yesterday, and we're still waiting to hear those findings. As of yesterday, FEMA has approved nearly $28 million in housing and other types of assistance to nearly 5,000 Kentucky households following the February flood. The last day to apply is April 25th. 15 disaster recovery centers are open. The center in Owsley County has moved to the public library in Booneville. Well, a 2024 study from the driving education platform Zootobi says during the last 3 years, Kentucky had the most teen driving fatalities in the country. Now, with new legislation allowing 15-year-olds to apply for their driver's permit, those in public safety are reminding families of the driving tips that could be life-saving. Alyssa Williams checked in with law enforcement and travel experts to learn more.
The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says over the last 3 years, Kentucky saw more than 47,000 crashes involving teen drivers, with 210 of those being fatal.
It's definitely not a statistic that law enforcement would like to deal with either.
Richmond Police Chief Rodney Richardson says of the teen-involved crashes he's worked, distracted driving seems to be a leading cause.
Where they're either on cell phones or just driver inexperience, not checking before they pull out in the intersection. Just simple mistakes that, one may not make later on after a little experience.
The driving safety organization Arrive Alive says a habit that sets teen drivers in Kentucky apart from other states is a lack of seatbelt use. They say 63% of the teen driving fatalities here in the Commonwealth were unbelted.
Sometimes I think that as adults and as parents and grandparents, we're not taking on that responsibility of really mirroring good driving behavior and modeling that for kids. They learn even at a very young age before they even get close to being able to get their license.
Hawkins says although that new permit eligibility is 15, you should always evaluate if your child is ready for the responsibilities that come with driving. If not, it's okay to wait until they are. Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
Hawkins says speeding also contributes to teen crashes, and teen boys are also more likely to speed than teen girls. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. So to come, are you looking to lose weight? A new study shows intermittent fasting might be a good alternative to dieting.
And temperatures are seasonable today, but the 80s return tomorrow.